Welcome to Juicy News. We bring you latest and hot news all time. If this is your first time here, please subscribe to the channel by clicking on the subscribe button below and bell the notification icon. Please don't forget to share the video for others also to watch. This is Kelvin Taylor, a US-based journalist and social commentator. He has reacted to the ongoing feud between the Asante chief and Dorma chief. He also touched on statement made by the GJA president on journalist concerning the Asante chief and Dorma chief. Without wasting much time, let's get into the story. Kelvin Taylor, a US-based journalist and social commentator, has shared his view on the feud between Asante chief and Dorma chief. Before making his view on the ongoing feud, he descended on another chief for making some statement against the Dorma chief. Now, this chief, Nana Korkorbing II, has called out Dorma chief, Nana Ajimang Badu II, for doing the bidding of the National Democratic Congress, NDC. He described the Dorma chief as the new communications director for the NDC, noting that he has taken over from Sammy Gyamfi. He also lashed out at Dorma chief for his inappropriate dressing and told him to move away from his yo-yo style of dressing. He is always on social media acting yo-yo. Nana Ajimang Badu should continue this way, it will help us all. He should wear his NDC colors and we will meet him with our colors too, Nana Korkorbing II said. He stated that the political attacks the Dorma chief has launched on President Akufo-Addo's government would not be left unanswered and advised him to prepare to receive equal responses from Ghanaians who don't consider him as chief again but rather, a political communicator. Kelvin Taylor said that chieftaincy has become so cheap that people who don't deserve have been installed as chief and they spew nonsense. He added that, the NPP who are in government which he is a member are so ungrateful, dishonest, liars who labels anyone as NDC who criticizes them. Kelvin Taylor descended on the GJA for not making a statement on the murder of Ahmed Swaleh and the statement Kennedy Agyapong made on IGP Dampare. This is what the GJA said. The Ghana Journalists Association, GJA, has urged extreme caution over the media coverage of the feud between the Asante chief and Dorma chief. The two traditional rulers have lately been engaged in verbal warfare. But the GJA said in a statement that it is needless to state that the hyper-sensitive issue involving the two prominent chiefs can degenerate into a conflict of unthinkable proportions, if it is not handled with the highest degree of circumspection, especially by the media. The sensational tilt and explosive angles which have characterized the coverage of the verbal exchanges should, therefore, give way to conflict-sensitive reporting which will allow tempers to cool down and the issue to be contained or resolved in the long run. Kelvin Taylor, reacting to the ongoing feud, said, he does not see any fight between the two chiefs but should be happy for what is going on. He added that the two chiefs are rather educating us and this cannot lead to any war. Let's listen to the reactions of Kelvin Taylor.
Who's our story way, and it is actually making rounds. There's a specific reason I want to speak on it, and I don't want to waste too much time on it. There's a feud. Otumfuo and Dormaahene between Otumfuo and Dormaahene. This guy, Dormaahene, is doing Sammy Gyamfi's work for NDC, and a respected chief, Yesu Oyohene, Nana Etietuoso Korkorbing II has called out Dormaahene Osajefo Osiadeyo Ajimang II for doing the bidding of the National Democratic Congress and all that. In Sembebere, see, they say this guy is a chief. He's dressed like I don't know. This is the same person. Sometimes you see him sitting on Moon to Me TV with Jimmy no Hosa, Nana Jai. Nana no, a dinner bear former, with all due respect, Otumfuo mun deserve no near their momo. Without this, I've listened to this guy a couple of times. And Jimmy or exhibited or to me TV, so I won't say Aquawe, say Coco, say Tiefiso Hinio, ni Jimmy Penino, and he exhibits that every day. Now, when you see or hear people like these speak on issues between Dormaahene and Otumfuo or say Tutua, and you are expecting people like from your Hinia, Sebio, Okuta Afenema Waswe, where they be a Jimmy for Hinibi, and I dream with fear, Onima Mamrea. He will not speak, said Dormaahene, because he is speaking on Ghana's problems. Dormaahene is doing the job of the opposition. And the Ghana, anybody who speaks on Ghana's current issues is working for the NDC. That is the highest level of dishonesty from these people in power today. This NPP form, NPP form, they are so ungrateful, they are so dishonest, they are liars. Because and the bonnet cost of Ghana, they will label you NDC, sorry. But time and now opposition they did not see every individual trying to criticize the government as an NDCP. They did not see it. Who's obi MPP ni where the and then you man and then tough one is so a glow for the. So when you see these drunkards given platforms to exhibit the highest form of ignorance and foolishness, it worries people like us, because here it's na Otumfuo, Dormaahene, me papa your mahene, I have uncles who are paramount chiefs. I respect them. So your hene na se sebio uni wanka so abakosema, there is a problem. So your hene na so tina bedwom na so wan kasa se de wadwiri wo fie ana so kasa se de wodi wuti ehye ya animu ansa na wakasa, you the same person ugu sa we busuane ni mase minime busuan mu si we hene na jimina adokoro no, it is above coverage, it is above MTN coverage. Now the reason why I decided to speak on this matter is not because I'm taking sides, no. Now GJ or let me read this. GJ urges extreme caution in coverage of Asantehene Dormaahene feud. GJA, the Ghana Journalists Association, they have not pressed for Ahmed Swale's murders to be exposed. They have not said anything about Canada-Japan statement. Or Kasa Dampare knows who murdered Ahmed Swale. GJA, they have not made a statement. There is video evidence. Ghana Journalists Association, none of them have come out with a statement to say Kennedy said this, so you Dampare, you know something, say it. And no diamonte, a journalist had been shot dead. We have GJ in Ghana saying they represent journalists. So I keep telling young journalists in Ghana and those in it, say you see your leadership, they don't care about fellow journalists being killed broad daylight. But back to this issue, and the issue is GJ is urgent. Now the issue between Otumfuo and Dormaahene, to be very honest with you, I don't see any fight here. So because Otumfuo and Dormaahene, I don't understand the person. In fact, we are even supposed to be happy from what is happening, because the two chiefs are telling us or educating us on our history. Unless you don't understand what is happening will not bring any war. What is happening is the two chiefs are trying to explain, break things down, educate us on our history. I listened to Dormaahene and I listened to Otumfuo. You could see, say, they are all endowed with knowledge about our history, and we need to know our history. So when a chief steps out and unapologetically or specifically speaks on things and our history that he was told that has not been changed, I don't see that chief as threatening or causing harm or fighting anybody. The same way as when a chief responds to a statement from another chief about the history, they are distorting of history as time goes on. History, idea, as we move forward, people try to change it. People try to touch it. Like Otumfuo, like Dormaahene, they are trying to let the young ones like us understand Dormaahene almost pine, almost bile, almost bonyon, ehina sorry. Otumfuo said to do so echere asantemai, bebia almost 2 million almost bonyon da, bebia almost fruma, edda. So I don't see any problem here when a chief steps out to speak on the history of his people. When a chief steps out to respond to history, where is the fight? There's no fight unless you people are reading meanings into what we are talking about. Unless a chief or one of the chiefs is lying to protect lies they've spoken all these years. But between the two, so far, I have been learning a lot. I have been reading a lot from them. I have been understanding a lot from them. So I give them credit for letting us know, baby, that has been touched and that has been changed. We need to have a dialogue. We need to have a conversation. I am for ahini omudi enim omo no mutumi mehu ya bakosem. In the send Dormaahene eka abakosem akyere Ghana for senior asanteman ne doma ehia ye mrebia sebio ye nyina yedua culture studies. That is how we got to know about eye Konfoanoche. That is how we got to know about eye Konfoanoche say onya santini sebio Konfoanoche kra no onya santimem ne ewo no. That is how we got to know say Otumfuo say to do nana no mo call prempam ko ntokwa no say na siye bosia ko yodi de tikoje kirema. There is a history behind it. So and the Dormaahene pie na say or church nsemu na Otumfuo so think to say he needs to rectify some things. Where is the feud? Where is the confusion? Because it is the core responsibility of the people who lead us traditionally to break our history down to us, for us to understand as we move forward. So your hene na so untumi nkyere eye wakonwa abakosem ana nipa mu di wechi abakosem na wo hene na wudi na ase kyere sen. Me papa your man hene obusa ne say eye abrode ebusia obo eye akonwa oteso onkyere obebi abrode kraman a eye ejaso na no ana kenten a obekyere mu, because eye ne nananom na kyere no eye history no before he got to this position. So I don't see anybody saying, say, Edin Tokobeba, Dormaahene, the first thing he did was to explain to Ghanaians, baby Doma sati free, and Dema Doma Ejin, and the Doma from Otumfuo. Otumfuo said to do so, Ejin say, a santimano, or no so, a bakosimo bexre, sa santimai dino, a santimai ye say. Nan Kenya Otumfuo said to Ankaminim Dase Kwame Nkrumah no pass and to Fuasem. It's part of our history. We need to research. We need to go into it. Wow, me. Did you ever know? Say Kwame Nkrumah in our history never liked Ashantis. And Otumfuo said to the catcher yende. We need to be learning from these chiefs. Sebio and the Ghana, nobody is going to be stupid to pick a cutlass and pick a gun and say, "Me kwa santimai, Dormaahene show park we so yanko." Actually, Jimmy. But what they are doing to us, they are really helping enrich our culture. They are helping us to understand where we are from and why we are here today and why we need to protect our history and culture. And nobody should read meanings and start sending messages around the feud, and nothing is going to happen. And so far, people are discrediting people because some people to know the truth. So we need to establish the truth. How do we establish the truth? Papa akosi your history mu. We know it's a lie. Who is going to tell us the truth until people who were living in that generation come out to speak? That is when we will get to know the truth. Ekufuado is altering history. What are we doing? Or the nyome bi share money tima anyhow. And then Okohe Life Skills book, culture studies, social religious. In sema anyone Ekufuado buy way edi share books him. And then yamba no na yenya ahemfo akese na mo say ende de omato mo hwesi wo say omo be kire abekosemu abekire bebi a omo man free abekire eye history eta eye omahenie ene eye nyoma e de omabedu bebi omodura adenti na ebufu mediem makomemu a anka ahemfo so sorry no mo so bie camera nsi omo so no mo kire mu adekorantia ekuro wei ekuro kitwa enso man hini na tim okom ekuro ma yeldo a ekuro kitikiti enso ekuro no oyo man hini utumi ko kuro bi so kakraka ekuro no edi kuro ne di so edi enti na mane basa eye nananom eye history eye bakosem eye nchirechiremu. So this should give our chiefs, because so your hene na woni mo bakosem a you don't deserve to be a chief. And Dormaahene anka nchiro bia so bia bodam Dormaahene endi obia tep. Dormaahene set the record straight, the same as Otumfuo said to came to sit down to set the record straight. What do we lose here? We gain a lot, because this is what we have been looking for, waiting for, this kind of knowledge. Because now we mean that Dr. Kwame Nkrumah hated Ashantis. Otumfuo said to Nekacheye. Now we mean that. So, Kwame Nkrumah not Ashanti for. I have never heard this in my history. I have never learned about this. Today we need to research why na Kwame Nkrumah empass antifuasem. Is it the reason why today amanchichemu bia bagana na? This is one thing Otumfuo edia che Ghana for say monkosua history no. Say yeni asantefo na Kwame Nkrumah no ompay asem. Adentina no pass antifuasem. Ebi Otumfuo has a case there. Ebi ananano mo mudi nkan ba no omanchire mu anchire ye. But Otumfuo said to has been able to tell us, how on saying, why are you making issues out of nothing? The GJA should take care of more important things. We are enjoying what is happening. I am learning a lot. We are very, very happy. Otumfuo and Dormaahene are letting us know our history. I expect other chiefs to come out, tell us how their respective clans, their respective backgrounds, how they were able to dominate, how they've been able to maintain that royalty till date. And yet a good year, and yet chains. Sebio se nipa ne beka asem na enye de hye no na kire se onim nyansa na eye de free na no, but the message is more important. Sebio se oka se go be community o making sense met my catch on authority ahemfo be 90% of Ghana e gudi egu omkom nyina e alomi. So we should not look at people, the kind of cloth, the kind of jewels they are wearing, to listen to the history. We need to listen, absorb, research, and see who is lying. It does not represent anything. What the people want from our chiefs is the knowledge, impact, the development. What can they do in their respective positions to bring development? Force politicians to listen to them. The culture we are leaving behind, our customs we are leaving behind. It is the responsibilities of these traditional leaders to enlighten us about it. So Otumfuo any Dormaahene assembly there, a good news for Ghana. It will let us know the lies in our history, and it is also going to educate us about the good things and things that will help us sustain our culture. So with me, I have no problems, and nothing is going to happen. Nobody's going to fight. So Obufua nebia o assembly o ha onpeso beka o wantrobia o kataso, because I don't see what any of them have done etumima obibufu. I don't expect Dormaahene to get angry, and I don't expect Otumfuo to get angry. Sebio assembly o ho imrebi na okra eni nkura edi agrobom e one area. Okra ne mma eni nkura ne mma de bia nwumre no mo hia bonte no mo di agro. Na one day okra ne free kromo baaye no and a friend in Banako shed them, and a crown of Sabano so Muslim shed them. And a crown of two in Bano for say, wouldn't say Sanko for no mudia agree, or ye diane. Sanko no me diane mamo. I was so much yomo because yen cradia in cradia no mundiagro. In Kranuko shed them, and the Omama make a chair almost say, wouldn't you Sanko for no diagree, or me dangerous, or move too much marry. Into Munsham we when young for some new diagro. A samna make a chairmono. And in Kranus Mayati. And I'm crown say my yati. Adie chin anopano. And I enkrano ebe boy a granny dime because that time my parents go eduma. And I'm bom koko enkra mombra bontini enko diagro. Na enkra no say enkra mombra bontini enko diagro as you always. Mo de mo pie na mombra. Wodi maso enkra ne ka kire mo. Sa wo maame we tufu a yenso ye maame etuyefo. E kire wo twantro e na obubefu. So maame atufu a obisu maame atunufo. So maame akabakosama kire a obisu maame akabakosama kire no. It is important to respect our culture. So nobody should blot this out and say ntokobesi baby a. So ho eden a obisu ho eden. Wo ye bema obisu ye bema. Se abakosam no wonim sa no kure na wo kan mema obumfu. Kirem ma onana no monte ase. Me see 90% of ahennie ene ahemfo mo Ghana egudi egu omkomu e yalomi yazo. Bibia nim just to represent. Those things represent. They don't have any value. The value we need from our chiefs is the wisdom they are impacting us today. Dormaahene, Otumfuo, de nyansa, de abakosam eshiatim. Let us learn and ignore this way kuntokwa. They themselves understand, so they need to teach the culture. Me, the mafawum, nyina say, na minim da. And mekaje Otumfuo said to nyamishraw. Me blesso. Unkwa nyamintum. Manusi sumna so nana onkwa so enya wan ka minim se Kwame Nkrumah no tansante for never. But you have told me something. I am researching and I will make sure say I'll add this to our history. Dormaahene so kan dey. It is important we respect culture. It is important we respect people who want to help us understand our culture. Other chiefs should come out and let us know how their culture, their background, the bile of their ancestors, where it was buried. It is important. Inti my way MBA problem. The GJA should find a better way to address their own issues. There are lots and lots of things they need to discuss. Sa aseme AC enyen tokwa eyabakosem no mochire. The GJA should address Ahmed Swala ye bone to Kennedy Japan ka say the current IGP Dampari knows who did it. And no na ye pese GJA etro a petition to the IGP to come out and deny or confirm. Mamunjai sa Jimmy, with all due respect, it's important we as a people start to look at these things very well.
Thanks for watching. Like and share the video. You can also drop your comment. Please don't forget to subscribe. Click on the bell to turn on the notification.